Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Manichean series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Master channel, in which we have finally secured the northern frontier, and as well as the future of Uyghur Manichaeism for Idikut Bokut, which he has recently, let me go through this. He is a reformer of the Manichean Church. This character plays a major role in the recent reforms within the Manichean Church in the new Uyghur Heartland of Qocho. Hardliners denounce this as an undue political meddling that weakens the strength of spiritual institutions. But others, particularly those who had grown disillusioned with the perceived corruption of the clergy, hardly approve. And so this causes the land all around here that says, the Manichean Church suffered setbacks in this region. It's not helped by the reported corruption of its clergy. Local Manichean elites have been influential in reforming the elect, with the hope that this will rejuvenate the church and restore confidence in it. Yes, our economy took a bit of a hit from these holding taxes all throughout, as we don't get as much income as we used to. Although, special mention to reinforcing our light horsemen and reinforcing our pikemen, including we expanded the size of pikemen, as it is important to counter against any nomadic cavalry, for the most part. That's why we have them. And within Manichaeism, it is part of the restored light. So, the religion of light has suffered much in recent years, and leaders have seen the need to heed the warnings of the Din of Arya that the church had grown too lax and corrupt. Through much needed reforms, the light will be liberated and the darkness defeated. So, as a reminder, when taking a decision to perform weekly confession of sins or participating in the bad festival, the chance of losing bad traits is doubled, as I would like to show you here with the decision to perform weekly confession of sins. Now I have a 9% chance of losing a negative or sinful trait. Also notice you are you're Archegos of Uyghur, and you're based in Monilik. That's in Al-Kufa. That's in Babylon. Hang on here. Did somebody enact that decision to revive monastic teachers in Mesopotamia? No. Well, the previous Archegos had a residence in Samarkand. But now Archegos Sibyl, in which she's from Al-Kufa. Okay, I see what happens. Yeah. Okay, Azabgah. He was the previous who was infirmed and died of pneumonia at 56. I wasn't notified. So that happened. And then years later it was ruled by a Kyrgyz Manichean named Karachik, in which she died of old age. She was theologian scholar though. And we had reformed it for some time. So it's still half and half on what the previous Archegos were like. She's detracted her caliphate for the most part. But it's high learning. There's nothing much known about her other than she took it from him. And she's of a younger age compared to the previous two. So she'll be around for a while. And don't forget, she makes very little money because of taxes from the Manichean realms, which there isn't much one out there to begin with. And she's an interloper of the struggle because, yes, she's Manichean, even though that's of the involved faith, while the the Uyghur culture is an interloper, not involved. So I guess they moved back for whatever reason. independence war, and you are losing. And also, there's another thing I failed to realize during the past 3 episodes, because I've been concerned about monetary gains or lack thereof. We should have increased the crown authority. We left our autonomous vassals, which is why it's easy to please them. But anyways, vassals are not going to like this for what I'm about to do here. We're going to pass limited crown authority, which we can establish tributaries, and this will make other neighboring entities out there that I would say, hey, we wish you be our suzerain, and we'll pay tribute to you. So, plus, titles can be revoked and vassals can be retracted, and it costs quite a bit of prestige, but it'll be worth it. And since I'm a bit legitimacy intensive these days, as we need 400 more of those. Especially whenever we expand further towards this way, we can vassalize other entities like this one. When we become neighbors, but the realm is no longer remote, might be negotiable, even though he's a bit stubborn. But if I can increase my legitimacy and his opinion of me a bit more, then we might have it. Tributary does not count for complete control. It says completely control all these. No tribute. But anyways, we should hold court at this time, because holding a court actually increases your legitimacy. And spending a bit of prestige for it. I am faced with Nana means sad eyes, which grow larger and more pitiful as a mother vastly gently ushers towards the throne. Etiquette, she relents. That girl has been at Aviaman's court with no one to watch over her since the appearance of her dear papa. Please, look to her future. What can be done with such a child? Formerly sogged in, but of Uyghur culture now. You've been denounced. I can't take her in because I'm greedy, but the court grandeur. Damn it. Okay, I'll take it just out of compassion for once. Not to mention, confession of sins. Like to get rid of greedy, so my hands are full, but I'll find her a home. You. My lord, I represent the religious community of Bezeki. While rummaging through our modest archive, we come across a very peculiar book. The cover was dusty and binding fragile, and the pages were yellowed by time, but it contained the most unusual drawings, and its script itself was unknown to us all. We are certain it is unique in the world, a long-lost vault of knowledge, a true treasure. That's why we offer to you. Perhaps the original copy of the Will of Siddhartha, or a memoir of the world's creator. Well, since I have a high learning, let me have a look at it right now. So, 40% chance that it's a nice manuscript and nothing special. Gain 25 prestige. 40% chance that the book remains a mystery to me, and I would have a permanent modifier keeping that book. And 20% chance it's a badly crafted fake. Let me see. The book is a badly crafted forgery. Worthless and useless. Gained prestige, but +2 learning. Permanent. Middle-aged man steps forward with quiet dignity. All round duty. Greetings, Your Majesty. I am Butch. Courtier. Your loyal servant. I come before you today to seek employment in your court. I am an accomplished manager, having worked for many local lords and courts of Kara Azagan, my homeland. It would be my honor to put all my talents to a greater cause in the service of my etiquette and all the culture. Good aptitude, better than my wife's. Yes. Useful man. He'll be the master of the horse. 55 legitimacy gain. Oh yeah, before recorded I noticed there's a bunch of prisoners we can ransom. Including 50. Let's do it, one at a time. So before we even do anything else, let's ransom. Submit to suzerain. Excellent. The charming Ida could both cut the jungle. I humbly ask you to accept my tribute and agree to become my new suzerain. Which does include all of you guys. So a star of low taxes, no prestige transfer, suzerain guarantee, which means if attacked, the tributary can use the call to warn action on the suzerain. Refusal will result in prestige loss for the suzerain, and the tributary will be released. No tributary war sports, so the tributary will not be automatically called to join in suzerain's wars, but will still be offered to do so. There you have it. So now we start making some real fortune again. But this time through tributaries. There's actually an act that I want to do. While we slowly reinforce. We should go on a pilgrimage. We do gain a pilgrim trait for this. It's much more convenient that way. We should go on a local pilgrimage to Veziklik, that place they mentioned. It's right next door. For historical context. The Veziklik caves are a complex of mostly Buddhist caves close to the ancient city of Turfan. These rock-cut caves, often filled with Buddhist murals, are strongly associated with Uyghur Buddhists as a major center of worship and pilgrimage. Though there is evidence of use of Manichean as well. No, money's going elsewhere. There is evidence of use by Manicheans as well. Though it's possible, in fact, the original caves were more heavily used by Manicheans before being supplanted by Buddhists after the Uyghurs converted away from Manichaeism. Veziklik is a home of a massive network of caves carved into the mountains, used for worship of the Buddhas and other holy beings. Spiritual devout people come from near and far over the centuries to pray and meditate in these caves. This will give me piety, lose stress, and gain a pilgrim trait for as long as you have the liberation of light, and pilgrimages are not forbidden. Additional taxes. Excellent timing. Yeah, winter is over, despite how it looks. It's abundant grazing season. So, act of devotion, religious observance, spiritual vacation, or pious performance. Aha! Ways to get more legitimacy. Because that's what I'm all about these days, in order to make, vassals, the possibility thereof, to accept me without having to go to war against them. So, this pilgrimage will be an important part of my legacy as a devout Manichean ruler. So I will gain legitimacy, the amount of which depends on what you select for the memorialization activity option. Memorialization. 1 second. Part of Scraps. Hey, you're the culture. What did you select? Dryland dwellers. Oh, I'm not mad about that. That's good, actually. Because, the Terran Basin and the Jagaria Basin is full of desert. So, once it's 17 years later, agricultural line abundance will have additional bonuses to count as culture. Increased hunt success chance in drylands and desert. Less dangerous in traveling in desert, drylands and desert mountains. All the Uyghur counties will have development growth in desert and drylands, and all of its holdings cheaper building and holding construction costs in desert drylands. Wasn't my idea, but good choice. Now, we mentioned memorialization activities for local pilgrims provide double prestige in addition. Not to mention legitimacy gain from the scribes of the steppe. Let's go to it. Class performance. No need to hire a mountaineer or desert warrior as it's a short travel because it's next door. Piety, prestige, curiosity. I'd like to gain more experience because try to get closer so I can become diplomat. So I will take that route. It will be curiosity. I want to better understand local inhabitants, their issues, and how they practice Manichaeism. While go on this little pilgrimage, gain experience in your lifestyle, lose extra stress if you're humble or just. Which I'm needing. Base gain for piety. Spend more money for piety, but if you go all the way, development progress in the capital increases by 20. Alright. Do more to that. 200 prestige with 50 renown. Doesn't cost that much. So, the offering will be a minor temple land grant. When going on a pilgrimage to demonstrate devotion, wise rulers will donate land to the religious institutions, and thus glory to true knowledge. Since I am the one who reformed the church, it would make sense to do that. I'm spending quite a bit. And it will be a commemorative monument. Everyone will know of my religious devotion, for I will commission a modest but respectable monument to immortalize the occasion when I come back. Let us go. By the way, it didn't say the word intent. Activity option for moralization. Okay. Not to worry, it's part of that. The road is dusty and the journey is long, but the ancient caves of basically cry out to me. For centuries, the people who lived there carved caves into the fiery mountains, honoring and paying reverence to the Father of Greatness and local deities. Many more traveled the winding routes of the Silk Road to come here as pilgrims to worship true knowledge. I too will arrive at these old caves soon. Visited these caves and gained a learning lifestyle experience. Alright, that's good. Should go down this way, especially towards open-minded, because of different cultures and all that. Should we ever? 3 out of 5 breaches. An unreliable soul. As my Mala grows up, compared to everyone that my child is disloyal. How dare you? I am so disappointed in you. You're going to be one to watch out for. I arrived at the caves of Pesca. It's clear that it isn't just Manicheans who arrive here, but worshippers of all sects have come to these caves. My entourage and I will rest for the night in a nearby town. They will proceed to the caves tomorrow. Now, where would a good place to rest? Today I have entered the caves of Pesca, particularly the ones dedicated to true knowledge. What wonder and delight! The artwork on the cave walls are old, cracked, and chipped. And with the paint peeling off, I cannot help but gaze with a great sense of veneration. Sometimes it almost feels like they're dancing across the stone, begging me to revere the Father of Greatness even more. We stay in the caves for the long while, praying and performing various Manichean rites. Praise to the Father of Greatness. 50% chance I might become inspired by it. And didn't. My pilgrimage to the caves. These older mineral caves were quite the sight. There's little doubt in my mind it will continue to attract devoted Manichean visitors such as myself for countless generations to come. I am happy that I could make it. So, 200 piety, 200 prestige, 55 legitimacy, development growth for Qocho increases by 20, and gain 50 renown. That was worth it. At least with the pilgrim trait, you can have a bit more increased travel speed and safety, as well as piety. Pikemen is almost all reinforced, and then we'll be ready for war. What kind of war? We can seize Peripheral Duchy, which will cost you 100 for Gaochang. We can Holy War for it, that's 300. Pushing claims over there will cost you too much prestige. Or bring them under tribute, which would defeat their purpose. Or ducal conquest of a county, not duchy. But to seize a Peripheral Duchy makes the most sense. I mean, after all, it'll lead to the decision. Claiming Gaochang Kingdom. Which we need money for that. But it will give me plenty of renown. And it would definitely help us out in the long run. And more development growth in Qocho. So it's 64 out of 100 this development growth. It's very, very slow. But it'll be increased in future. So right now, need to build a war chest. My applicable Royal Architect Nonga skills find much praise at court. Even the simplest repair works are handled with care and precision, rare to find in Qocho, or anywhere else for that matter. He's been deep in thought this past week, and I last shares contract. My lord, in my work I've noticed ways to streamline your building projects, but my efforts might be better spent aiding the expansion of the villages. Does this increase development? No, cheaper. You know what, you could do both. Help them out. There you go, bit of learning for you. Mala comes of age, in which she's got charismatic negotiator. Glory be, more prisoners to ransom. So not everybody can be affordable. Because we need the money to, again, as I said, we're building a bit of a war chest to prepare for a war against the Chinese, to take these two counties, and then we got it. As well as our attempt to try to steal some money, if you so wish. My sister has been quarreling with her nephew, Pangtela, for days. We're just now over here and I'm arguing in the next room over. Unbelievable, she shouts. How could a vampire like you believe you're the ideal manifestation of the ability of family virtues? I'm clearly far more deserving of that distinction than you are. Hey, no fighting in the family. I walk into the room. Again, good, you face me. I'm glad you're here, Bucket. Would you please talk sense to your son and heir, Pangtela? He's being completely unreasonable. Well, he is a bit ambitious. So I'll say both of you are acting like pendulum children. It's a 100% chance for gaining some of that monthly diplomacy experience. Wife falls pregnant and crud. That's breach number 4. We gotta do it, man. Get in here. That's it. Wait till 41 days. When we get one more to that percentage, we gotta implement right now where we're never gonna steal money from them. Even if it's very little. My friend died. Cancer. I mean, you're an actual physician, so you'll do. Son of a... And I lose the legitimacy for that. Just do it. Pays 11. There goes the opinion. And my legitimacy gone. Everything that I've earned. And he's scheming against me. Oh. That's it. You're going to jail. You're the one that tried to antagonize my spouse. I ought to revoke your title for that, but I don't have the increased domain limit. If I had a bit more stewardship. Now, since you've got no money, you ain't going anywhere anytime soon. You were a damn good chancellor. But no longer. We need someone like him. He can get us going. So at least I'm happy that I put my rival in jail. Count Sybil's funeral in Kingtown. This is a funeral for, but it says holding a hunt. It is a funeral, but a funeral for who? I guess it must be for your departed father. Well, do you know if there are any other guests that may be coming? I mean, traveling to the funeral won't cost you much, but at least it's travel. Yeah, sure, I'll go. Spend 14 gold for that. That's for you. I could easily revoke your title. And you don't make that much money, so... Lost of efficient oversight. Oh, let it be known for all. Can't throw it in jail. There are people out there trying to antagonize my spouse. How many agents are there? Goes to be Uzluk's final rest place. I'm greeted by the Countess Sybil of Kingu. I care little for her company. The day's really about the Count, and this is my opportunity to. Who else is here? I mean, it's a big guest list, so. Envoys of Crusader. A Korean who's a known gallows bait. Adventurous scholars. Well, Sechan's also coming too. I think you should befriend him. At least attempt to. I mean, making friends with fellow vassals might help out. Can ransom another prisoner for another 10 gold. Keep it out. We'll start a war soon, which no doubt the defensive war opinion is all but gone, since we did a lot of stalling around. I'll give you another 20. Come on, more. Beautiful fellow vassal. Hunched beside me, bereft of pretense of propriety, the inconsolable Hoilun gazes out into nothingness before. Not a tear falls from her eyes, not a word passes her mouth, until she turns to me. 10 great can be cruel indeed. Why does the wind still yet blow? Why does the sea continue its push to the shore? Why does my body ache for food and thirst for water? The end times is upon us. My fellow vassal is dead. Just a guest. Calm down, will you? But I'll say this. While there's life, there's always hope. There's always hope in the search for more money. And also I realize I'm at a Tengrist funeral. That means he's awake and this is a burial. And you know what Tengrists do in their funerary traditions? They do sky burials. So am I going to witness a sky burial? which I've never seen that done in Crusader Kings because I never played as a Tengrist, nor Tibetan Buddhist, nor a Zoroastrian when it comes to holding a sky burial for a funeral. Keep going. We will definitely have our war chest ready for the war against the Chinese in these series of wars to take all these territories. One little one, and then the big one. Praise the Mother of Life. Gundes. Is gonna be the name. More. Brilliant. Fortunately, she's sickly. Before me, a feasting table, stockpile of all manner of food and drink, as if Count Uzluk of Kungu were trying to offer a final act of magnanimity before departing. Etabas Chan of the Uyghur Heartland has so far refused to lay a finger on this banquet, however, swelling his goblet around the Isle of Solace. His middle distant stare falls warily upon me, and with a quiet nod, he raises his drink high. To Count Uzluk of Kungu, truly one of the greats. Legitimacy. Can get it all back. Legitimacy over friendship. So I'll say great indeed. And I'll be greater still. 99% chance I gain this legitimacy as the crowd is moved. Halfway there to tier 5. I and the other mourners take a reprieve from our grief to enjoy the great bounty food. The mayor, named Electric of Xia, is usually the lifeblood of any feast. Now sits across from me, misty out of an untouched goblet at his side. How can we make ourselves fat and merry in times like this? Are we to satisfy our hedonistic desires while Uzluk has none? Join me, at your gods in debate. Yes, he agreed his wisdom in this limitation. I could get more, but I'm a bit greedy about spending money on all that. Well, actually, no, because you're about to get some more through this. You know what? Round of drinks for all, just for once. More legitimacy. My daughter Songo has been impressed with one of the household Bagatula for a very long time. After her finally meeting in person, she's been repeating her warrior's words to herself. Give others their due and you'll save your own in time. All things must be given time, dear Songo. You should be patient. The time has come to commit Count Uzluk's final rites before his final journey hereafter. Uzluk's enshrouded body is held suspended above an open grave, surrounded by close friends and family. Instead at his head is Countess Seville. A privileged piece of mourning offered only by to a magnanimous host. We're given a few traditionals, pray for the deceased, then the body is slowly lowered to his grave, where he may rest in paradise for eternity. Oh, it's not a sky burial, it's an actual burial. I guess this is due to me being Manichean and all. And due to presence of Manicheans, we ought to do it, even though it kind of goes against the custom, or whatever the hell it is. You got your legitimacy. Though I failed to attempt to befriend someone. Well, we should launch the war against them. Are they busy fighting anybody? No. They are friends of a fellow noble family, and their ally is way down there in Sipur, which would probably not make much of any difference. So we are ready for... Wait. Look at the date. Remember that reinforced Silk get more step soldiers? Actually, let's wait. At the beginning of 887, that will be the official date of the start of the war. as I travel on my way back, realizing my plans. But my brother-in-law decided it's time the cultures come in. Sir Inspector just said that his farewells while goes is claimed on the province of Gaochang. If I want the president to make him my vassal, this is my last chance to make him stay. Give me 1 year, I will press your claim. I don't know what for. I don't expect it real close to cheating Kid because which was done in the past years. On multiple occasions proved himself to be a reliable, fortified man. One of my best interests are. It is rare to find a true friend, despite our differences between us. Fellow nomadic friend. Perhaps we ought to hold a feast and make you the guest of honor. That would be an idea. You were trying to antagonize my spouse and you lose your legitimacy, you fool. There are other ways to gain legitimacy, though. Besides certain decisions. Corrupt to my advantage. Does say increase your legitimacy. Complex network of favors and all that. That's an idea. Let's wait a few months, get additional reinforcements from the steppe community, and then we are ready. And better. I'm now the diplomat. +3 diplomacy, which outside tech off foreign affairs is still there. Independent ruler opinion. The personal scheme phase life will be 20 days faster. Faster to sway people now. Despite my advanced stage, I'm gonna go for martial. Strategy focus. Because I already have some, so in 4 years' time. Get this, because we'll be fighting in different wars very often. We'll be fighting a series of wars, so this needs to be reduced. How much is it to perform a confession? I didn't see the amount of gold. Since it's cheaper these days. I can do that. Let's do it at the beginning of the year. Fresh start. It's a new year. Yes, it is. Steppe. Recruit steppe warriors, additional 200 men, and allow me to perform this confession. I did not get rid of greedy, nor melancholic, or any other negative traits I may or may not have, but each passing day gets us closer to being illustrious as well as paragon of virtue. Which, you know, I think the first thing I should do, like when we win this war to get these territories, I should go on a pilgrimage to, like, go, I don't know, Samarkand, which is now independent. Look at you down there. Weak and all. And since they're now isolated, who knows? Probably from those down there who are still Karamazd, huh? Maybe perhaps I could bring you in as tributaries. Not particularly interested in territory expansion to there just yet, as I'm focused over there. Okay, when we become neighbors, you almost could be reasoned with, such as an alliance. Ah, yes, alliance. Let's propose an alliance right here, right now. No need for a marriage alliance, but we need you for the start of the hostilities. Gain 13 piety. Marvelous. We're allies now. Ooh, very close. Very close. Give it a -500. We become neighbors. And then, if he wasn't so damn stubborn, unless we hope to get a amenable ruler, or one who's callous, that might not work. I mean, you're a diplomat too, so we got plenty in common. So perhaps when we become neighbors, and maybe find ways to befriend you somehow, some way. Oh, you've been on a pilgrimage towards Al-Awaz. He is on his way to Al-Awaz, all the way over there. Hey, safe travels. Okay, let's begin. This is going to be a seized peripheral duchy for Gaochang. And this would get us closer towards declaring kingdom-sized holy war for Guazhou for all that. And then we subsequently fight to take them. And then Xia, bring them in as vassals by any way, shape, or form. And then you will have them. Not married, right? And also grandson. What if I was to say if I was to eliminate you? You know, murder and all that. So I can get rid of you and bring in the new ruler. Yeah, that's what I think. But anyways, let's start. You only have one ally, and I got two that I'm willing to call in. But be aware, rulers of a ministry or government may spend influence to requisition additional men-at-arms regiments from their governors. As we raise our men-at-arms and levies and that, which will take about 6 months, bring those two over here. Especially you guys, because you have something that we do not, and that's siege weapons. We lack of that, and I'm sure your culture lacks of that as well. No, you don't have that either, but you do. That's why you're valuable to us. There's the army that's currently being raised as we speak. The king himself decides to lead. This is our best. But for me, if I wasn't so melancholic, I might have the chance to lead, but war's not for me. Our men-at-arms are here. But do we really need additional couple more? Because you got yours. You have cataract archers, and you have horse archers. Which, to be fair, you are the one who has Pastorialists, horse breeders, iron cavalry, and devoted horsemanship. And you also have scribes and steps like us, so you're more nomadic intensive. Plus, people of our culture live there. You know, they're Buddhists. This is a high fort level, so... It's not the number of levies that will matter here. Should stop gathering right now. And get moving. Get a head start on those sieges. I've been seeing that lately. Point-worthy successor, which there isn't any. If you seek it, then that's going to cost you some prestige. Okay, look what they got. They have 2 good fighters. They have Chukono archers. Those are archers that are good against skirmishers and archer cavalry. They fight well in hills and mountains. But they're still archers. But they also have light horsemen, which our pikemen can deal with them. And they also have some horse archers. And as well as the siege weapons, which are limited in number. Perhaps we should engage him. Owner is slightly in debt. That's even better. Keep them in debt, then they'll be in trouble. And also we may receive additional friendly reinforcements to come along with us in this battle. And they decided to split their army in 2. They got a better commander. Don't venture off too far. We're still waiting for the Khotanese army to bring little of their siege weapons. That's alright. We should prioritize in destroying the enemy army. They're gonna be there in 3 months. Takes a long time to travel. The end of an era for Manichaeism. On the 20th of July, 887. Grave news is spreading across the scattered Manichean communities around the world. Caliph Al-Mu'taz has brought forth a renewed era of persecution of Manicheans in the Middle East. There have been persecutions by earlier rulers, going back to the time of the Prophet Mani himself. But this time, it's different. Suppression so severe that even Archangel Sibyl, the head of the Manichean Church, believes Mesopotamia, the traditional center and ancient homeland of Manichaeism, is no longer safe for those who worship the light. Though she was pressured to step down and convert to Asharism, Sibyl instead has fled with some devoted followers eastwards across the Silk Road towards China, where old Manichean communities still remain. They've consequently re-established a new home for the Manicheans in Samarkand. Only time will tell whether Manichaeism, which suffered a crisis after crisis, will survive this one as well. Is Manichean is the Uyghur word for Manichean church or something like that? But anyways, the forces of the Prince of Darkness grow ever stronger. this will have no immediate effect on us, but what will happen since the Caliph was the one that did this? He has gained 250 gold, 125 piety. He's known as the persecutor of the Zindiks. So that character was a powerful ruler of Mesopotamia, initiated a new era of persecution against the Zindiks in that region, reducing their numbers greatly, forcing their religious leaders to flee eastwards. They will pay for this one day in the far future. Now, what is that word, Zindik, that I just said? Though later to indicate heretics in general, medieval Muslims used the term Zindik to refer to the followers of the Manichean religion. So, where is she now? She's still in Al-Kufa, but will likely soon gonna have to pack up and leave. Oh yeah, the Zanj uprising did occur there. We managed to split their armies. The deer of Kinga. We can go hunting there. That will give me more legitimacy, and that's over in Tuksun, right next door. I'll have a think about it. They're engaging. May not be good for our ally, who was to support us. Advantage theirs. A bit, but they have the means to hurt them badly. But we will catch them. Over the past month, my domain has been under intense rain that caused catastrophic floodings and a major social disaster as the control of my counties show. Unfortunately, roads were ravaged, houses and government buildings were destroyed, militias that ensured local safety were wiped out, and the financial losses to the general populace were enormous. My steward came up with a relief plan that will help the communities affected, and I will restore some semblance of order again in my realm. What will I do? Knowing I'm a greedy person, I can't be doing that. Again, this affects my domain. Oh. But Beshbali got the worst of it. So I'll say my peasants will fend for themselves. So that's definitely going to hurt my income. We do have a seneschal who is doing rather poorly, health-wise, as he's obese. So we do have a managed domain. But can't we have someone better? No, they don't exist. So control will be restored. Slowly but surely. But start here. This is going to hurt the monthly income. Or try to get this capital control, because this is where our main economy is. There's got to be more ways, right? To increase further control from other court positions. I mean, it's doubtful. Huh. It's good to know. Bolster legitimacy. Why didn't I think of that? Having a court musician. Prince, you are going to be the man to play that music and bolster my legitimacy. This goes up a bit monthly. Why didn't you think of that? But meanwhile, we will engage with the enemy forces. But be careful. Battle will begin in a number of days. There are defensive buildings here, so that gives a bit of advantage. So let's hope for a good outcome. 2, 1. And where are the Khotanese? Still on their way. Because we still need them to go get your siege weapons and then begin a siege over here for starters. But we need to defeat the army first. So let's see how it goes. He's a bit reckless, but be careful. Advantage goes to him. So no advantage. So it's a bit even. But it seems they're taking more routed casualties than we are. That'll be up to the next die roll to see what happens next. Two, one. Who has the next advantage this next phase? It's us. We got him. That definitely puts a hurt on him. We should begin the siege up there. Now, you can't get supplied while you're on the supply limit. So. For level 3. For level 1. Oh well, for starters, try to siege here and then try to make your way back here. Regain supplies and then we'll be golden. At the end of the field exercise, it seemed a brilliant idea. To practice regrouping an army in disarray, I split my troops and ordered every officer to independently make their way to Qocho. Of course, by the third day of waiting, with only half of my army in place, I'm now seeing flaws in the plan. Borch suggests that I write out the contingent of the Bagatudar to find the missing troops while the rest of the army returns home. This will be an exciting search. My search may last for a while. Might gain a perk. I am passing through a small village. I noticed that, clad in simple cloth, the town's guards are all carrying weapons with my mark on them. Welcoming me in a muddy street was Pexin, Wanderer, the self-proclaimed divine guardian of the town. My soldiers laid down their armor to help this preacher serves the Father of Greatness. I already rule by divine rule. These soldiers better remember that I was chosen by the Father of Greatness according to a divine plan. 75 prestige, and will gain self-declared divine right. I have no theocracy vassal, so it's not that big of a deal. Search continues. 9 months. Watch. Oh, and also you gain flexible leader and you're near death. You are maimed in battle. Damn! Use my precision. No. This is my precision. It's just you misread of what it does to tiny boost a small health boost. I can hear an absolute ruckus coming from a roadside tavern. One of my Bagatudar kicks open the door, revealing a room full of my wayward soldiers. My arrival makes them fall silent and stare down into their tankards, with nary a word between them. The proprietor narrows her eyes. So, you're responsible for this rabble. I ain't paying. I'm greedy. But since I'm gregarious and I'm a diplomat, I say, grab a drink for the road, men, and let us be off. I'm certain to convince these soldiers to join the search. Get to work. We'll get it down in no time. Last of my troops have made it back to Qocho, and order has been restored. Though this was hardly a display of military brilliance, I gained a new perspective on the army and the individual soldiers of which it is composed. It's a viable exercise after all. We got it. So now it'll cost less prestige or piety to start wars. But I'm still going to get a perk over time. But remember, this applies to me when I'm doing the strategy stuff. So you should probably mix it up. Like serve the crown, you should get that since you're concerned about control. Yes. I know how it works. Offer to peace. White peace. You're gonna send your son to be a hostage? No. No peace. We want land. Or should I say, as some people would say, no, we don't want no peace, but I'm willing to take a piece of your land. A big piece. 2 pieces. As I stand in my dining room warming my hands against the fire and lost my thoughts, unknown maid approaches me, tears in her eyes. After elaborate curtsy, she looks me in the eyes and says, Mairica, your sickly offspring, the beloved, the Gundes, didn't resist the illness that befell her and died some moments ago. Without any word to say, she just stands in front of me, tears flowing, waiting for my next command. My poor child. In the Dark Ages, the death rate of infants was high indeed. As Gundes is born a sickly child, unfortunately, death took her away. I had so many hopes for you, my sweetest child. All the things you would learn, experience, and do. There were so many possibilities, a whole life to live. Maybe you would have had children of your own one day, but now none of those things will ever come to be. Rest in peace, little Gundes. They're going to be coming over to assist. Continue to ransom prisoners just to keep the war going. Gee, after all these years that you're 4 years old, you finally spoke your first words. He says, the father of greatness. Already a devotee, huh? What else can he say? After picking up the padded swords for a sparring match with my daughter Sango, I noticed the tattered journey cast one side. From the cover, it seems to contain exercises the best practices pertaining to martial arts. Sango glanced at my tracks. Oh, and that thing? I mostly read for the illustrations. You can borrow it. Intriguing. Grasp the hilt, not the point again. My martial increases by 1. Nice. Mother's still around and still maintaining order. You know what, might as well. We might as well convert the masses here. What did the vassals say about this prolonged war? Offensive orders going up. But this is why we need to start taking these places. After we take this place, get resupplied over there to Yidu. So it goes with spending an unusual amount of time at the stables as the late's begun to neglect her peers at court. The child seems fixated on one specific horse, but when confronted she insists that the beast is just a mere tool to be used and discarded when it's no longer useful. She doesn't seem at all concerned with the beast's safety or comfortable riding. They become actively irritated when the animal shows any concern with safety. What's the matter with you? I'll say no. Speak to the horse. Tell me what it says. She'll be a bit of an eccentric horse whisperer. There's the enemy army, at least one of the two armies that was split earlier. High Chieftain is in poor health as he's infirm now. That would take away some of his advantage. And it appears that the army has disbanded. Or they merged together. Oh, now they're in a defensive war. Oh, they actually want the whole damn thing. And they got allies too. They can't handle a two-front war, so advantage us. And the Courtiers army will soon be coming with these siege weapons of theirs. That'll make the job easier in taking that. Because it would take a full year to get this down. Loot is 20 gold. No offense, dreams. Spare the gold. I step out of my tent. The siege camp sprawls up before me. A jumble of tents, shelters, and stalls arranged higgledy-piggledy under a weeping sky. Pennants snap in the wind. In places, held by crooked tree limbs, smoke drifts on the wind. Throngs of men busying themselves among tents and siege weaponry. The stench of dirt and sweat is thick in the drear air, stinging my eyes. The smell is mixed up with a strong tang of urine, with the rancid odor of rotting wounds. My low retainer approaches and forces the siege ending. Gather my bodyguards, head to the edge camp. The Og of Burgersutai stands before me, a shrouded graveyard. In the fields between, many of my comrades lie dead, their blood mingled with that of their foes. Skeletal cottages lie in contorted heaps in the surrounding fields. Shock survivors stumble by, running to and fro, the landscape of carnage, certainly intriguing for survivors. Loot it, and imprison everyone. Here we have this place occupied. Supply limit isn't good. Right, fall back. Died from his eternal injuries. You served us well. We salute to you. Taitama, you're the man. Oh, my son. He suffered from pneumonia. Can't lose another good commander. Oh, I've lost my brother. I don't know why I said son, but brother. Shapa, you old Sogdian. You will be the tax collector. I guess it's up to me. I mean, I would take it. Yes, for once I'm leading the army now. Perhaps I may gain some skills out of this, even though I have no commander traits, which puts me at risk. And since I have no martial skill, since I'm getting older, become a strategic commander. A commander is the wisest soldier in every army. Removing myself from the fighting and frequent dangerous events on the battlefield would serve me well instead of focus on a more strategic, less dangerous command style. Command more strategically. So hurry up and get to there before the army starts starving. An important peasant leader of my own domain asked for an audience with me to discuss aspects of everyday life that could improve the living conditions of my peasants. More so, he is involving my entire dynasty. His quest and my actions will be interpreted under that light. While this person sports an intriguing outlook and above average knowledge, I found that the requested suggestions he makes our threats to my coffers despite a positive spin used that can be construed from it all. After all, it's better to have happy peasants than unhappy ones, and clearly this person is the backer of a large lot. All I need to carefully evaluate my options. Ah, damn it. Oh, double, damn it. Fine, I'll pay for improving the living standards. I'll spend the gold and prestige, but for now, because I do not wish to have popular opinion lowered and everything else lowered. So, got it. And since we've got some more prisoners, we can get all that money back. So we're alright here. It's worth the investment. Come on, keep it up. Mazaban. It does not increase, so at least there's more. So yeah, no trouble. We're getting all that money back now. So what's the worry? Tai Timur. I appointed you as marshal, and he's already is a cunning politician. Alright, we're here. Made a friend with my daughter. We will no longer have the command penalty for doing that. Yeah, begin your siege. We'll sit back and relax here, as they're going to be defending their southern front. Take it 4 months. Okay, he's coming over. He's going to be bringing the siege weapons, which will make the job easier. We're arriving in 16 days. Okay, watch this improvement. I mean, fortunately, their commander is a siege leader. So that's why he's beginning all this. Now, siege progress slightly increased. Thanks with this. Thanks to the Khotanese. So, I'll begin to siege up there. Actually, wait. Let him go up there. Because he's, you know, the siege master. He's a siege engineer. I'll let them do the work. They got a breach in. Submit to suzerain. Another entity wishes to pay tribute to me. Oh, you're a big one. That'll get me out of the deficit. Let them go to China. Let them do their work. Because the fort level is high, and so when they work together, it'll be all good. And at the same time, sit here, be fully reinforced and resupplied. And that we are. 3 years. Because of a small force. Submit to suzerain. There's another. 0.5. Gold gain. I don't suppose any of you, else of you are siege engineers. No, you're not. We should consider that after this war we need to get some real soldiers. Also, by the way, continue to let's work on that. Let her bring the siege weapons over. 'Cause 3 years is... ugh. Now it'll take 18 months instead of 3 years. That's why I said let them be. They can have the loot. We're just going to sit here and relax. Don't do anything. Also, war score is going up, so we'll have the victory in no time. Hopefully I'll feel better after this. While I gain a bit of gold to keep it going. A stranger that was brought before me. He's been waiting outside the castle gates for a week, my liege, regarding forcing. Man Balsi. My name is Chongdang, Your Highness. I traveled far and wide to see many things, but I'm weary of the road. If you allow me to stay, I'll happily share my knowledge of the world to you and be your loyal servant. Han Chinese, huh? Well, the more the merrier. Come in. My courtier. It might be useful for future schemes. And speaking of schemes, Count Talay of Balgun, my valuable chancellor, came to me with an idea for an initiative to use some guile and cunning to improve my standing among my vassals. The plan calls for a risky move where I will first lose some prestige thanks to his apparent political mistake, later be portrayed as a victim of falsehood, thus manipulating my vassals into improving their opinions about me and recouping the lost prestige. In the knowledge, I am not the one calling the shots. I must make a decision about giving a green light to this political maneuver. So, Chancellor, you got very high prestige, diplomacy skill, as do I. So, unless I want to involve myself further, which it depends, the success depends positively on the high diplomacy of my Chancellor. I've been being shrewd to this extent. He does not have a lack of diplomatic education. He has a modifiers of a Chancellor impact more than my own. I'll involve myself further. I mean, after all, I am the diplomat and depressed poet. So, prestige is spent, but will I get it back? The spider left its lair and scurries across the floor. He's a prisoner. One opportune time for the boot of justice to squelch him for good. It is well known that war is a perilous affair. An enemy sword could top your head off like a knife through butter. A lucky arrow could strike you on the ramparts. Has that disgruntled soldier perhaps bribed to murder you? There is always the threat of camp fever. I do not demand a grand dramatic exit. I just pray for your demise. Can't let him dishearten me. War will be over before you get that. 97, 98, 99. Victory. Offensive war opinion from you all? 24, yes, it went a little longer than it needed to be because we wanted to destroy their army. And the reason why we gained that way is because it's a peripheral conquest. And I gained 55 legitimacy for this victory. It's a win. Expand the army. And fortunately, well, actually, this area is only. There you go. Its holder, Baroness Pexin. Gloria is widely known. Yes. We're trying to get to work on that control. You should be granted these lands. You will be promoted from Baroness to Countess. Or Bagum, as it is called. So there you go. It's part of our land now. Now we can claim the Gaochang Kingdom. Show dominance over the travel routes for communication from all directions. For several generations, the western regions ruled over the crossroads of the Silk Road. Now that it's time to inherit their mantle and spread the message throughout the caravan stations and oases. Here, beneath the four corners of the sky, we are the rulers. That prestige I spent earlier, we're going to get it back. So 200 prestige gain. None of becomes my primary title. And Dilga gained 300 renown. And so we'll have the permanent modifier from our dynasty. Revive the kingdom of Gaochang. So my family's successful revival is seen in the Gaochang kingdom. Plus 2 diplomacy, 0.20 a month prestige, and opinion of the same culture plus 10. So those Uyghur vassals of mine will look at me a little more highly now. But I believe it's those within the dynasty. But also the Baglachi of Qocho here. The merchant tax will be implemented here. Ancient merchants often pass through the kingdom of Gaochang, and the Gaochang area has become a famous trading hub. So buildings will be made cheaper and built quicker, and we have more development growth. That's the most important thing. And it's going to cost you 150 prestige and 150 gold. So there's a trade in prestige. Declare homeland. So now we are noteworthy. So now we completely control Zhangga. One day we will go further and control Vijaya one day, as they're still our ally. But they're a useful ally to me. You just need to have 2 more kingdom titles as the Tears Kingdom. If you want to have the greatest of Khan's trait, in the Uyghur Khanate Empire would be restored. So basically they're telling me to not only control this, but all of this. This is an exception, maybe. You may want to have that looked at. Elevate the co-monarch. That's a thing. A co-monarchy. We're still feudal. But nevertheless, got illustrious now for that. Since we've defeated them, shorter truces. So, used to be 5 years, but now it's 4 years. We can use the rest, because the next war, for future reference, grab all of this. Hey, We're neighbors now. Almost there. And all that good money was spent away. So at least we could focus on ourselves for the time being. Three years. Okay, build that there. My Chancellor's plan was a great success, and my vassals were fooled into believing the whole story. These are sound news to my own credibility among my vassals. Prime! 172 prestige, and everybody looks at me a little more highly. Everybody's impressed. Ha! As I said, now we must focus on ourselves. As we're trying to get the economy going again. And legitimacy, we're getting there, slowly but surely, monthly. I wish I could go hunting right now, but we can't afford it. Wait, what is that modifier? Mysterious colors in the sky, okay. Thank you. Keep paying that gold to me. You speak Greek? What the heck? Paid ransom. 10? Oh, it's for this man. Okay. Here you go. And you? No. You're staying in there. Contracts first and robing. I patiently wait to fetching my clothes. Someone says, my lord, no one can find your garments. So it says. Oh, I'm surrounded by incompetence, I mutter, storming from my chamber. It's in my son Konchak's room. I discovered that not only my ruins, but also the boy's witness. I had no part in my liege. He dressed himself, responds with a giggle. Little scoundrel. No, reject that. Say nothing about that man. I'll raise you. Submit to the Susan. Hoo. That's a big amount. Good. I'm glad I increased my crown authority beforehand, so we can get the other realms to pay tribute to me, knowing that I've become rather powerful in this region. And we proved to the world we could beat them. And we hope that Caltele can get rid of this truce with his skill. As the Tuhun are trying to... Well, it's not Tuhun, there's a book, huh? You're thinking of these guys over there. And how are they doing over there? Guess they took care of that independence movement. Yeah, it is going up slowly but surely. You're a good son. have the keep building, which we do not have. It takes 3 months. 5 months if you upgrade if you had Mott's innovation. Dryland dwellers in 11 years' time. Hopefully when my legitimacy increases, he'll join. If not, we're going to have problems. And the only other way that we can try to get him on our side is try to befriend him. Which I do not have the ability to do that. And try to make him pay tribute or anything like that, that will not do. Thank you. You got it. She now resides in Samarkand. I can see. Oh, she's suffering from gout. Oh yeah, and also she's obese. Never knew about that part. Yeah, they wanted that. Like, this would have split the realm if that were to be accomplished. And I would have fought a war against them. As they are... Oh, okay, they're feudal, not tribal. This would make things easier for me. You know, holding a court grants you legitimacy. Organized march will do. You know, faster movement would do. Alright. The air is thick with anticipation as my vassal Begum Peksen approaches me, the nearest vassal. My lord, I've come with grave news, but the solution to fix this problem has become increasingly clear that the Koshinye and the Uyghur are becoming more, perhaps even too similar. It is paramount that we show them that it's us, Uyghur, are at the forefront of innovation. Yeah, right. I like you well enough, so there's no need for us to exercise superiority over other cultures. A frightful peasant strolls all too close before a guard steps between us. Ooh, he backs out of the way, glide through scanty. Your lordness, I come here from Yokoto for a matter of great deport. Yes, see, Idikot. The weaver's sister saw she could make a better spiced wine than a prior's wife, and of course they were judged to die, and thus the husbands got involved. You don't say. Please go on. Rest may not like me for this, but hey, man of the people. Yapko Sagarak, who is in prison, storms in front of my throne. My liege, many think Mala should become your successor over Pangtale. What? It is known across the Egalitarian Jungar that your Pangtale so offends as to make an offense a skill. On my journey here, I was robbed of by a horseman in Garsh Refinery, and he stripped me and tied me to a tree before his master gloated that he was actually Pangtale. So, I'm sure you'll deny having done this. The wolfish grin spread across Pangtale's face. Oh, I absolutely did. What the hell? He's just showing off. No harm done. So, I say, very sweet, he takes after his father. I gain a bit more legitimacy, and we'll gain the legitimacy level up to ordained. Now, what say you? You're at war? What? Intervening. Been at it for a while. Chieftain. Chieftain. Did all this. At least I didn't have to spend any money on it. You know, our priority right now is just restore control of everything. One more year and we're back to full control. Then we can make some real fortune again. She's got fortune builder and shrewd. Wish I could make you the heir. I mean, you're good with learning and stewardship. Not to mention shrewd. Nonetheless, that's not how it works. Hey, Vamna's independent again. You should try to get it back. What? What's wrong with you? Okay, they do not appear to be going back to Buddhist anytime soon. He's been raised and taught in their ways. How humiliating for Vijaya. For he and them, last of their kind. And all your wives are elderlies, and you can't marry them more. Shame. Because what I would do, whenever the alliance ends, you're next. And one day, I would love to conquer Vamna. Because that land there, high development, Silk Road trading post, and a lucrative mining settlement there, it will work wonders. Perhaps future capital. I mean, after all, it is a holy site for the Manicheans over there. Just a reminder. Yeah, all of Guazhou and Xina. And, of course, not to mention this back there and this here. We still got a long way to go. As I am getting over. I'm 50. And would love to get rid of melancholic. Which reminds me. Let me look it up. Cheaper. Even cheaper to perform these weekly confessions. You should do that every now and again. Notify me next time. Because I would love to get rid of melancholic so I can live a couple years longer. It's that important to me. I mean, it's a small chance to get rid of greedy or melancholic, more importantly. But let me see. Additional opinion, piety, legitimacy, extra stress, extra lifestyle experience, reduces the gold cost when taken. You know what? Let's do that one. Should commission as manuscript about other religions' texts. Mani said that one of the followers' duties was to collect the revealed texts about other faiths, to adapt and add them to the great wisdom of Mani. So when equipped, this artifact reduces the gold cost when taking a decision to commission more manuscripts like these. So I'll work on it myself. There might be other ways to get rid of the melancholic trait. Like probably, go on a pilgrimage. And I just saw a huge increase with tributary tax. Maybe we should go on a pilgrimage, a real pilgrimage, to Samarkand. Hey, Dim. You got it. So if I were to host a pilgrimage right now, because I'd love to become a paragon of virtue. Reduce speed, but earn more piety. Desert Warrior will do, as will the Silk Road merchants in an attempt to try to make more money. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that, but that'll be for another episode. Save your money on that. Get out of that damn war. I was out traveling today in the cold wilderness in my realm. It is winter after all. While me and my companions rest for lunch, we take out a bag of dumplings filled with minced meat and mushrooms. These dumplings are traditionally left outside the freeze, preserving them, making them a great supply to take along longer trips to the colder regions of the Siberian taiga. The northern frontier up there. At any rate, we put the dumplings in the pot of boiling water and we wait until they're finished cooking. A delicious meal, despite simplicity. Has anybody ever had those in real life? Frozen dumplings? Because I don't know what they're like. So make a little bit more money. In the next episode, the pilgrimage to Samarkand will be the first act as we await for, hold on. One sec, the local. A promising Laktan woman named Karachik Ituk from a local steppe community in my realm wishes to join my court. Though dismissed as barbarians by some, the peoples of the steppes, many of them intrepid nomads, are nevertheless feared as warriors and horsemen across Silk Road for a good reason. Regardless of actual capabilities, having a connection to the Karachik could be useful. I don't know. Oh, no good skill here. I'm not paying you money. Nice hour. No, I'm not interested. Get out of there. What happened to the truce with Xia? Actually, click on it. Yeah, it's still there. 2 more years. Matter of fact, good enough. I may have to cut this episode short right now. Stop at January. Somebody tries to fabricate a hook on Master of the Hunt. So, tell you what. This is what's going to look like in the next episode. Because, who knows? Maybe there could be a miraculous act in this pilgrimage. I can get rid of melancholy. Or some other thing. Just by going on a pious pilgrimage. Because this will definitely take me up to Paragon of Virtue, which will further increase the chance when doing those confessions. So take the Desert Warrior trait in addition to Silk Road Merchants. And travel slow. And you could, well, don't bring anybody. Unless you want to reduce. But more piety earned on completion, but it makes the travel more dangerous. Well, I do like a challenge. So again, something we ought to consider for the next episode. Because again, you've got about 2 years. April in 2 years' time. The truce expires, and then we'll fight a war against them again. Which a holy war for Guazhou will cost you 844. And we're going to earn some more for some leftovers. And you could seize more provincial duchies, which makes it actually easier. But I'd rather have the whole damn thing. We have no land connection with them yet, but seize provincial duchy wars is actually far easier when you think about it. So that'll be the first thing we'll do in the next episode. Gonna go on a rather perhaps dangerous or not so dangerous pilgrimage to Samarkand, which is the current resident of the Archegos, Sibyl. Sibyl. Get well soon. Bless her. But I have high enough legitimacy, and we gotta bring that man in. Will he be a vassal or not? That is the real question that needs to be answered. You're still gonna have very good enough piety and all that to do these periphery wars. Unless Lolan and over there splits up, and then we can come in and take the rest. And all that. You know, with the relation's so good enough. Wish I could tell you just the demand conversion right now. Yeah. That's something we ought to consider. We gotta pacify the region with more Manicheans living up in the frontier, instead of Tengris, which would cause us trouble. Something to watch out for. So, we got our plans figured out. Big holy war, periphery war, just a regular old holy war, and then the rest of Lolan, and this part here, and then we'll all be good. Unless these vassals that do break away due to isolation, we could tell them to come in. Even when we get close to them, they're not gonna go for it. But I wish there's a culture acceptance between us, but oh well. You can't say promote cultural acceptance in other places. So, yeah, basically, we know what our future plan is. So we're going to do quite a bit of traveling in the meantime. So we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.